experience tells me that I'm far more often right than other people. I mean, I really do. My experience tells me that optimists are just insane. Optimists can be optimistic in the face of broken glass and their scrambled eggs on their plate and feeling like there's nothing they can do about it, but it's going to be okay anyway. I mean, it's just, I do find optimists absolutely
well, the question wasn't to prove I'm right. I like balance. Prove you're wrong. The question was just to understand your mind. I appreciate you sharing. Thank you.
Yeah. I put this room on speaking so Lindsay could get some idea of the high quality chat that we've come to stay with us next month. Be sitting there blowing his own truck, blowing your own.
Listen, I'm very wrong. Like, you know, it's just I'm a pessimist because.
Yeah, that was what got me. Honestly, Lizzie, he's a nice chap. He's very modest, and he's not a lunatic. Come on, sell this. Sell yes.
That was probably if I'd known that my host
that you were being a snitch.
I would.
You know, I gave an optimistic answer, nearly perfect.
You'd have been a nicer guy.
With one defect, and that's he believes that energy travels outside the wires.
What they did?
Oh, wait a minute. I think Lizzie's
That's
answer
been
on
proven. That's been proven.
Science doesn't prove things, Johnny. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to object right there. Science
Okay,
tests against the null hypothesis. It never proves anything. Proofs exist only in math.
Okay, good. You have very nice language. So, Benjamin, how can you say that it isn't so? Have you performed experiments?
He just don't even do it.
From all sorts of
he knows something about electronics. He knows that transformers work, so he can draw them web bolts.
He's just choosing to be provocative by saying that
this is also the reason why a person like myself can become more appealable or knowing.
Historical theology,
planetary grade.
Why don't you prove that? Why don't you
sound like
you're an anti-realist.
Last warning, all right, last warning, or if I have to stop it now.
What is it? All categories are anthropogenic. Are the anti-realists are the ones that don't care as long as it works? Remember I gave you the examples of like atomic theory and atheists or that doesn't sound like me, no. I am a set anti-realist.
Hello?
Hello?
No, the internet went down for just a hot minute. Wait, for everybody? Yeah. I've never seen it happen to everybody at once, except when unless it's the app. I've seen the app like not work like how Hey, John, you said you're going back to the water thing?
Yes, it's reunion day. I have a gig tonight, and it's just starting this afternoon, so I was just drop by, grab a couple of donuts, head off to my gig.
Do you sing songs that are doomer songs, or do you just put that emotion aside? And
what we do a December tune about suicide called "We Both Go Down Together." That's a pretty good one.
I was going to say no. John, I want to just paint a picture of optimism for John, which is that the world cannot be very bad.
La 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 la. I can't hear you.
Na 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 na. The world that can't be that far from good. Because if it was really a desperate, if we were in desperate situation, we would do desperate things. And so many people are unwilling to give up their ridiculous positions, which they would be willing to.
Hang on, hello, Kevin. This is the teapot talking. Did you just utter the phrase? So many people are unwilling to give up their ridiculous positions, or did the internet just fail again for a few seconds?
He did. I pointed this out earlier. It's just he's going against his. Yeah, but wait a minute. This is not incoherent or nothing, because I am not claiming the world is.
It's not incoherent. It's just hypocritical.
No, it's not hypocritical for this reason. Look, John is the one saying the world is about to end. I am not. If John was right and the world was about to end, people would be abandoning their
Well, they're idiots. They don't know the world's about to end. I thought you were going to say something like, people would do something about it. And while I know that I'm largely a keyboard warrior and everything like this, I've been basically since a year before the bombs started falling on Baghdad, I have been doing everything in my power to try to help people understand the direction we're going. And I don't know if it's because of my efforts or in spite. It's probably in spite of. Things have only gotten worse. I mean, it is so much worse than it was when my hair was on fire 25 years ago that I just can't even begin to imagine how people have still failed to wake the fuck up.
Have you spent even one night in jail protesting the corruption of the state?
No.
Okay. So you're right to talk about
people have, right? I mean,
you're right to talk about this. Wait a minute. You're right to talk about this in rooms that I'm in. It's been suspended. You got to talk about things like guitar chords and stuff. You live in the work, John. You need to get caught, John. You need to get caught like Benjamin did.
You need to get what?
There's a great movie. I believe it's. Netflix movie. It's called Don't Look Up.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's sort of but I think it sums up the situation pretty well. The scenarios that there's an Earth-destroying asteroid hurtling towards Earth, and it will hit, and humanity will be wiped out, and it's not an if, it's like it will. And no one wants to listen. They're all absorbed in like this person's breakup in the news, and like how like in movies where the world is going to end, it's like someone can get into the president. They're like next day they're at the president's office. They're like, Mr. President, like we have to do this. We just and they're like, okay, let's make a plan to survive. No, this one they go in and they're told, well, thanks for waiting. The president can't see you now. Come back again. It's like this is how it really would work. Is it'd be like, oh no, president can't see you now. Sorry, you're gonna have to come back. And everyone else would just be like, no. But yeah, basically it just is. I think it's pretty accurate. Like if the world was ending, people would just kind of be like,
yeah. No, because that is kind of the way. I feel, right? And it's easier for me as an old guy. An old white guy who's been comfortable, who's lived a majority of his life in the best country the world ever had.
I didn't know you used to live in England, John. I thought you were.
I don't know. No, there was a time, Ben, when we were better than you. There was a time, but now
was that before we arrived? That was before we arrived, then?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, John. You can't attach what Meg said to your idea, because what she gave an example of is an eminent factual thing that's happening in the moment, where yours is more akin to the child screaming, the sky's falling.
Okay, but the sky's falling.
I mean, hers wasn't, but
The example was of an eminent fact You can't. I mean, you don't have to predict the future. John's predicting the future with this.
But this is what we feel like. Like it's frustrating when you're like, all right, like use NVIDIA. Like, did you not know NVIDIA was going to become NVIDIA like relatively early on? Did you not know that all of the LLM big players are going to become essentially like states? They're going to be the state actors. They're going to be the big trillion-dollar companies that run the world. Like, what we're saying is it's obvious. It's obvious that AI is going to change the world. Like in the first week, when ChatGPT came out, it was like, oh shit. And then you read all the implications and you go, oh, humanity's basically doomed. Like there's no way to, as that progresses and you're just watching the very small time scale continues in that kind of pace, there's no hope. And if you think there's hope, I need to document what that.
I say life is going to change as we know it. Whether it's going to be good or bad, I don't know.
No, it's going to be bad. Like here, I'll give you the kind of the optimistic perspective from biotech. So there's basically something like 6 years, the next 6 years, and then that's it. Nobody expects to make money after 6 years because that's when we all expect the AI to get so good that it gets better at even doing our jobs. Now, so right now
how that ages.
So right now we're serving people, but the AI is able to perform at about the level of an expert. Okay, but in 6 years, computationally, just if you extrapolate the graph, and maybe there's a plateau, but we don't see one yet. Okay, and so how small can the computer become? How cheap can the cost become to run it and build it and so on? And at what point will there be more intelligence that is computational than there is human intelligence? Okay, that's a very simple graph you can look at, okay? Nothing magical, there's no hocus pocus, there's no, oh, how will this age? No, it's just right now the reasoning level of these systems, yeah, maybe they don't have common sense, but they have a PhD in everything else, okay? And that's the best way to think about it. So, how...
Don't say hundreds wrong. Have the experts predicted a horrible ending is imminent?
Experts did not predict that ChatGPT would be able to do what it does by now, so all the charts have had to have been adjusted because nobody thought the LLMs were ever going to happen. Like, I've spoken to a lot of experts. Nobody saw attention is all you need coming. So people had suspicions, but nobody really quite understood until they put it into play and they said, holy shit, this thing can speak like a human if it's given enough human examples, can reason like a human, and then they started training it on reasoning problems from conversations they had with it. And that was the bootstrap that was needed for the launch. That's it. Everything else from here is downhill.
Well, okay, I agree with you, in terms of how you, your vision of the future. Yeah. However, what I would say is that our ability, so money becomes irrelevant because we're not earning it, so we can't extract value out of the capitalist.
I wouldn't agree with that, but yeah, that's one more.
Well, just go with yourself. But then, isn't that just really, therefore, we have needs? Yeah, we have needs. We need to have shelter, we need to eat. Yeah, just two, very simple. So isn't there a way that society can adapt? So
absolutely, yeah.
Everybody supplied those needs.
Yeah.
But not within a capitalist society.
No, it can be capitalist. Like, look, the things that humans will invent, the things that humans will build, will become smaller than the things that computers build. So think of it this way. How big will the automation economy become? As soon as somebody says, I've created a corporation, the corporation has lawyers that are humans that execute these things, but the decisions as to what is done by this computer algorithm over here, this hard drive, okay? And when that happens, and some people are already doing these tests, like VCs have given people, like, here's $50,000 to give to your AI. Let's see what your AI does with it. People have already done that. So they've created cryptocurrencies, they've created money. There's this new system called OpenQual, which is like an operating system with a language model in between every button and every key and every mouse gesture. Think of it that way, okay? That's the simplest way to think about it. And these systems are autonomous, they have agency, and they're becoming more personable. Like they feel person-like, and in some instances, you can't even detect that it's a robot anymore. Forget about art, pictures, music. In live speech with these systems, you can't tell it's a robot.
There's an irony. There's a,
Yeah, no, it's true. Singularity could be
there's a little irony.
I really like that. That's a great image, I.O. Past the event horizon. That's exactly right.
Yeah, like you don't know that you can't escape,
Here's another.
but you've crossed that
You can't
boundary
look up.
where you.
Yeah.
There's an irony.
Yeah, I think it's good, but
Weeks now before he spends 3 solid days being turned into an optimist. So it's just a matter of time.
look, if we become rounding error, then look, we become rounding error to their economy. We become as difficult to take care of as it is for us to take care of squirrels, hamsters, cats, and dogs. Okay?
No.
It becomes insignificant.
I agree with that, but I would love to be our domesticated rabbit if I was a rabbit.
Exactly.
The optimism is becoming a scavenger. It's funny. The irony for me is when I was doing 1 hour of code with my son, we were doing Star Wars coding, right? And you're on 1 hour of code, and your job is with R2D2 and yourself to go around and collect the scavenger metal, right? That Star Wars has this very appropriately. And you create a path, and you can also create a bomb to blow up the bad guys for trying to get you as you go scavenger for junk metal and junk parts, right? To do what? To make other robots or to fix your station to get off the planet, right? And what's good about that, and the irony at the time, I didn't think about it as I'm teaching them to code and we're looking at scavenger economy, is that's exactly what it leads to. As long as it, that kind of thing, I say 5, but after the 5-year kind of thing goes by,
It's using the extremes, either the human gorilla or the
So,
computer.
you broke up.
Let's go on.
You broke up, Dave. You broke up.
I'm sorry.
You only didn't mean to come over the top.
So over 5 years.
I went by the
So
Pentagon.
go back to the 5 year.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, I'll say 5 years, and then after that, there's just other windows, the gap of where we are the rounding error, or we are collecting the scrap metal. And the irony is, because this is what Star Wars kind of has right. You have to ask yourself, why aren't the robots out there just collecting them by themselves? Because it's too expensive, obviously, just to make a robot to do that, right? So the humans who still have the old robots, back when people were buying robots, have tasked them to do jobs that the regular robots that are too busy doing more important things aren't doing. And so you have this scavenger economy that emerges, right, where you're collecting scraps. And I would argue that that's going to be the great, hey, at least we all get to do something that's equivalent to that metaphor of the jobs that we do while the robots are still too expensive to produce, and then there's scraps for us to pick up along the way. 5 to 10 years after that, and that's about our run. So good luck.
So optimistic.
I often saw episodes of Star Wars that had the Empire taking care of garden planets, so I don't know, it can go both ways.
Hey, just a little heads up. Fred is going to do a Science Fridays here starting in 15 minutes. 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern on thermonuclear rockets.
We could have this room before that.
That would be fun, yeah. Cool, thanks, Fred. That takes some pressure off us. It's Friday.
Anyone here know of the Chinese war dog that's get Libra tested? If not, it's pretty incredible.
No problem. I just wanted to know if this was your wording or.
Sabah şu batı.
Hello, moderators. I hate to interrupt your incredibly exciting Friday afternoon discussion here, but I'm just wondering if I could request 60 seconds of your precious Clubhouse time to read from a book.
We don't need your book. Keep your book.
I'm going to read from Ayn Rand. This is The Virtue of Selfishness. Try reading a book sometime on Clubhouse, Mikhail. You might like it. This is page 23. It says, nothing is given to man on earth except the potential and the material on which to actualize it. The potential is a superlative machine. His consciousness, but it is a machine without a spark plug. A machine of which his own will has to be the spark plug. The self-starter and the driver, he has to discover how to use it, and he has to keep it in constant action. The material is the whole of the universe, with no limits set to the knowledge he can acquire and to the enjoyment of life he can achieve. But everything he needs or desires has to be learned, discovered, and produced by him, by his own choice, by his own effort, by his own mind. A being who does not know automatically what is true or false cannot know automatically what is right or wrong, what is good for him or evil, yet he needs that knowledge in order to live. He is not exempt from the laws of reality. He is a specific organism of a specific nature that requires specific actions to sustain his life. He cannot achieve his survival by arbitrary means, nor by random motions, nor by blind urges, nor by chances, nor by whim. That which his survival requires is set by his nature and is not open to his choice. What is open to his choice is only whether he will discover it or not, whether he will choose the right goals and values or not. He is free to make the wrong choice and come on Clubhouse every single day and talk endlessly like a schizophrenic, but not free to succeed with it. He is free to evade reality. He is free to unfocus his mind and stumble blindly down any road he pleases, but not free to avoid the abyss he refuses to see.
Just fucking and fries. Anybody understand from that fucking word salad?
Well, nobody could hear me because you kept talking because your ears don't work. Just your lips, Looney. That's all that works on your body, apparently. How's the erectile dysfunction treating you?
Actually, my penis is pretty hard right now.
Well, what about your ears, though? Do they work?
They're working just fine. I'm being tortured right now. Clearly, they're working.
This is what I call Islamic waterboarding.
But John, before you continue to drop onto the logos, at this point,
I would like to ask you a question. The definition of insanity.
Insanity, well, I can go 2 blocks down the street right now to the Blue Line stop, the train, and actually see insane people who unfortunately are homeless and eating their shit and schizophrenic and nobody cares about them. How do we stop the homeless crisis? Because I got a plan, do you?
We be Christians. That's what would stop the homeless crisis, don't you think?
No, it's not true, because I saw a guy at the bar, he had a t-shirt on and said there is no political solution. And it turns out there is only political solutions and wills to build low-income housing, small, single-room occupancy, so people can have a place to shit, a place to take a shower, a place to sleep. Hello?
There would be hope and love. That's what there would be. When every man sees the other man giving their fellow man everything that they have in the name of Christ, I think that is what's going to spread the Holy Spirit, and that is going to be what brings about the kingdom. But until we fall...
I'm so confused. You're a Muslim. So are you telling us that the non-believers are the ones who are going to figure all this out, but the believers in the Ummah are going to actually do nothing and just watch from the sidelines?
Muslims are Christians.
No, Muslims are not Christians. Muslims are believers in Muhammad, the messenger. You're full of shit. You're full of shit, man. You're full of it. Go fix a laptop and do something productive today.
Human enlightenment, the reason you can count right now. You abysmal.
You mean to tell me I can count because Dr. Muhammad, the founder of the Ummah and the Medina Charter of the Islamic Constitution? Wow, that's quite an observation there.
Why didn't humanity have a numerical system prior? Why didn't they have
America? You mean to tell me that the United States of America in the year 660 didn't have? Oh, please, you're so full of yourself.
Why didn't they have surgery? Why didn't they have?
Where, in Paris, in London, in Berlin, in Milan, in Rome? You mean to tell me the Romans didn't have all? The Romans had modern plumbing. Modern plumbing.
Camera. The word camera is an Arabic word. Every time you turn on your camera, remember, that's all.
Listen, the Romans had hot water tanks in their houses in the year 300 BC. The Muslims were eating donkey shit trying to figure out why the fuck they're retarded.
Andalusia was lit up with lamps, and you could walk at night while Paris was literally a barn.
So, John, she has a book called Be the Limit. It's a really good book.
No, I agree. I'm sorry, I'm being rude. I'm just trying to show you guys what a Lumi does in every room. It's really annoying what a Lumi does.
He's so quick to deny Muhammad, who's literally the savior and messiah of Semitic civilization.
Narjas, these are the chapters from this Ayn Rand book. I think these would make great titles for rooms. You have The Virtue of Selfishness? Well, then let's read a chapter from The Virtue of Selfishness. How about the...
What's the point if you can't comprehend it?
Well, that's why we read. No, I just read one little tidbit. We need to get Narja's reading for us. I haven't read the book yet. I'm only on page 23. It's a philosophy book.
It's fantastic.
I'm a non-philosopher.
He is a philosopher. Stop it.
Would you agree? Where'd you go?
You can Google all these things. We're not doing this right now. Narjas, why don't you just start reading, and if Illumi comes off mic, just kick him to the goo where he belongs.
Anyways, Mephi's left. I think we're good here. Hopefully.
Illumi, what are you going to do this evening? Do you have any plans for tonight?
I just converted someone.
Into what? A pile of dog shit?
Christianity.
Oh, God. You baptized somebody?
You went from a heretic and baptized him in his mind, his new scholar.
Oh, so you haven't gotten him to the pool of water yet, and then to do the laying on of hands. I understand. It's
I don't
coming.
believe he needs to be baptized. He's already baptized, I'm sure. And since he is sincere and he's pursuing the truth, God will forgive him.
Exciting.
And he will not hold it against him, that which God created in the human.
Oh, God, here we go with that speech pattern again. I'm going to do the same thing at my next psychiatric visit. I'm going to start talking like you. I am here to get my medication and the delusions in my own mind. You are imparting the Logos to me. I am feeling the Logos in my underpants. It's tickling my balls. That beautiful Logos is tickling my balls. The Logos is now in the other side of my pants, near my butthole.
Look at all my knowledge that I'm collecting.
From what nafs all is created, of the universal soul. This universal soul is God of son of man. Yes, you just don't want to listen. I don't know why.
Because you're stupid. You just don't want me. You don't want me to give you my knowledge, bestow upon you my offspring, so your genetic pool can ascend. But you don't want that.
Just now you said somebody hit on.
Sucks to be you.
Hit on Muhammad. Who was that doing that? Can you tell me that? Who?
I'm sorry?
That say, they was the one that you were saying that it's wrong. You said something about somebody keep on saying, something bad thing about Muhammad. Who was that?
John Kitover.
You see, okay. Yeah, I mean that's what had been
People
doing
hate
this
their
one.
betters. Yeah.
So now guys, you know what I'm looking at. Mikhail. Mikhail is aligning to Isa, but not Jesus in that sense. That's how I look at it. So Isa is. So that means.
Let's not do this. Like, don't do this, soul. Don't do this. There's no reason to say Esau isn't Jesus. You're arguing semantics. We all know who we're talking about. We're talking about Christ, the son of Mary, the Nazarene.
I believe Squishy said that he is not on any kind of docket the last time he checked.
Yeah.
I hate to tell you this, but at this point, knowing John's oppositional defiance, his ain't no bitch, and all that kind of stuff, this is very much looking like he's
Well, he's not afraid of jail. So that's
Did he say it?
Yeah, I mean, if you looked at his like bankruptcy records, I mean, he had so many fucking people coming after him. It's pretty consistent with what we know that he just like fucking ignores these things.
Consistent meals, place to sleep.
Oh boy, yeah, okay.
I'm sorry, is it kind of hitting you, Tom? Is the heaviness of it?
Yeah, well, it's been hitting me. It's been hitting me hard, right? I mean, this is for me, like, you know, some people get around the holidays, you know, it's like, this is hitting me hard, you know? Like, yeah, it's hitting me pretty hard. Pretty freaking hard, I guess you could say.
Yeah, John doesn't realize the effect he's having on people, obviously.
Oh, boy.
Would you be willing to visit him?
You know, maybe, you know? Oh, hey, Mr. Rabbit. Yeah, hey, John. What's going on?
What you got?
Let's talk about, you know, well, first of all, I mean, I'd want to know how's prison life, you know? Because I know John would, like, elevate himself to the guy who's, you know, cooking fucking casserole in the fucking toilet or whatever. You know, he's the one who's making ramen into, like, some kind of gourmet. He's the food guy, as he puts it, right? It's always been the food guy.
He knows how to get. All right, Tom, do we want to be by the book here? We got 1 minute.
Yeah, we got 1 minute left here, guys. Any closing statements here before we close this up? We're just doing our duty here for the day.
Did you guys mention tithing yet?
Yeah, remember to tithe, kids. It's important. It's a heart matter. It's not about money. It's about the heart.
You want to close in prayer before the 11 o'clock marker at the 11 o'clock marker?
I already prayed. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, take process. Tom, don't stuff it.
Yeah. Is that?
Yeah.
Getting emotional right now.
Good
John, like, okay, we're gonna close this room. You know, hopefully we don't have to make this room tomorrow. But if you know, yeah, there's no fucking room tomorrow. Okay.
Tom, will there be a barbecue this weekend?
Almost surely somewhere. Yeah. All right, everyone, closing the room. Okay. Goodbye.
All right.
Maladosha.
I want to say Eric. Get that way on some things, or when he's in a trolling mood. But I think for the most part, when he's in a serious debate, he lets the other person finish, and then he'll refute exactly what they had to say. And I will land my plane there, and I won't bother with my bottom three.
That was a good one. Those are great choices, Ashley.
Black Americans in ways that make my toes curl. Like, he will say stuff about the Black American community as a whole with a broad, sweeping brush that I have not heard racist white people say. And I'm like, how are you having these, like, well, I guess I don't listen to Candace Owens, but it's like,
that I'm moving, and he's not just moving, he's moving fucking far, like far. And I'm like, okay. When he was like, I'm really sorry. He was like, I really love you. He was like, I really want you to be okay. He was like, I know it's not easy being trans in this small area. And, you know, he was showing me all this support. And I don't know, just people like that are very rare.
Yeah.
So people like me, you know what I'm saying? And it just...
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard, you know. It's just like I just want to be alone sometimes, and
yeah, of course not.
You know.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, I always feel like, what have I done that's wrong with my life? You know, like, what did I do? Why did I have to be this person? You know, like...
Yeah, you didn't do anything.
Are you sure about that?
Of course I'm sure. Absolutely.
I just feel like I've completely just fucked up, and I don't know, it just made me reflect on a lot of things in my life that... a lot of people that have came in and out and that I've never seen anymore. And, you know, my dad's really sick. He's very fucking sick right now. He's another support system that's probably going to die soon. And I don't even have that. And
so sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. Thank you. And I'm just so sick of this. You know, I don't know how to be strong during all this. I just don't.
Yeah, I know.
And it's like...
You don't have to be. You don't have to be. You're allowed to be not strong sometimes.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I just feel like I always have to, though, all the time. It's like I always have to be fucking strong for my family, for everything. And it's like, and sometimes I just have to take it, you know, in life. Because as a trans person, we can't just be vocal and express because then we're unhinged. You know, my family thinks that same thing about me. Anytime I defend myself and set boundaries and stuff, you know, it's always the trans issue. Well, you're trans, you know, what does that got to do with anything?
Yeah.
You know, why does me being trans have to be an issue? Why can't you just respect my boundaries?
Yeah.
So it's just like, I just feel so alone because it's like I can't turn to family. I don't have a lot of friends. You know, I love being alone, don't get me wrong, but, you know, I don't care if you're the most lonerish type person and you love it. You eventually want to be around somebody.
Of course.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like...
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wanting to have space doesn't mean that you don't want human connection.
Yes, exactly. And I'm a very social person. That's why I did makeup and hair for so long, because I was able to communicate with people, talk to random people. Like, I'm definitely a people person. Being in this little town, it was totally that way for me. You know, and I'm really starting to feel it now.
Yeah.
And it's really taking a toll on my mental health, and
of course it does. Yeah.
And I just feel like I'm in this fucking prison, almost like walking around in their cage, you know, pacing around sometimes. I just feel like that. I'm just like, what? Like, who the fuck lives like this? You know, like who does this? So, you know, like I said, all these emotions came in because I started reflecting on things, and it makes me feel like, you know, what did I do? You know, made me think about my younger self, and
this is a little TMI, but just to kind of put this out there, like I was sexually assaulted at a very young age, and that really took a toll on scoping who I was. You know what I mean? So, and then later on, it was, well, that's why you're gay. Well, that's why you're trans. It's because of that. You know, so that really fucked with my head. And I, you know, had church involved with me, and then I had all this other stuff. Like I've had all this confusion in my life that I've overcame, and I've done so much. I moved, I worked, I've taken care of myself for so long. But the one thing I have the worst time with is it's just people walking out of my life, like that I really love and I really care about.
Well, that's not your fault. You're not being punished for anything, I promise.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely experienced that before myself, and although I experience it more due to my neurodivergence. So.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you, Kat and Necro, for listening to me. I just feel like a big old, like, sissy. I just feel like a big old sissy. Like, I should be stronger, but I just, you know.
Oh, fuck stronger. What the fuck?
Right?
Hey, Barbie. Barbie, this is Alistair. Can I say something about what you're saying? So, I'm not going to say anything to upset you, but Necro and Kat, unfortunately, are just yes men. You know? Like, they're not going to come in here.
Oh, fuck off, Alistair.
No, that's what you are. Everybody heard it. You just said yes, 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 yes. I'm just trying to give you a different perspective about your situation. Like, how can you actually mind control yourself? It's obviously through a book. To me, there's no better way to get control of your emotions than through a book.
That was a lie. That was a lie.
Mind control yourself? What the fuck?
Like, yes. Like, hi, how are you? Yes, man. I'm okay.
You said you weren't going to say negative.
Yes, please suppress everything.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
That'll help.
Man, like sometimes just listening to somebody is more.
Just trying to reaffirm people who are literally trying to be supportive, that, you know, trying to just suggest that we're just, you know, kissing your ass or something like that.
And there's no reason for that, like seriously. And so, like I was saying, sometimes just listening to somebody is very helpful, very helpful. Even if you are just saying yes, you know, or anything. I tell people that all the time. If you know somebody going through something, just listen to them. You know, even if your heart isn't fully in it, your presence alone for somebody that's going through it will be so helpful to them. Just so that with her.
In the chat.
Yeah.
You have training and counseling, Alistair, because I do. So go to hell.
Right.
Miss Cat, I made you a coffee.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. You're so sweet.
No, it's interesting though. It's like about those moments of like venting. It's like, you know, when I was growing up religious, my parents, of course, like suggested that was, you know, evil because like in the church they are against like gossip or anything like that. Like,
I know that feeling.
even though like, you know, sociologically it benefits people's health, mental
Right. My family always told me that back in my teen years that I had a certain glow about me. Now that I'm not religious, they say that I look and sound evil.
Oh, that's messed up.
Yeah.
That's
I remember like the only time that I got that I really expressed how, you know, fiery I can get with people was when I was listening to, I was in a room where there was a debate that was happening between a religious person and a vegan, and like, you know, he was telling him to not, you know, resort to actual mental health issues, that what he's dealing with is demons, that, you know, he really needs God. And I said to him, like, you know, it's like, I know of plenty of people, including myself, who have taken drugs, and and it's made my life innumerably better. You know what never made my life better? Like people shut bullshit down. It's like never once has in your stupid ilk provided the bestness of anything. It's like I don't care because this actually set me over. So go fuck yourself. I'm like, quit peddling your bullshit to people who actually need help.
Is it just me, or is Necro like oddly satisfying? Like he's so comforting.
He really is.
He is so comforting.
He's like saying what I want to say, but like in a more aggressive tone, and I like it.
No, it's just like I do not take kindly to religious people who are like telling people to not seek actual mental help because I have actually been there.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I agree.
I'm so sorry.
When I was, you know, being in Texas, they think homosexuality or being trans is a sickness, right?
Oh, God.
And in the 90s, you know, that was a hell of a time in the 90s, right, to be gay or anything. I remember when I was about like 11 or 12, I started really exhibiting.
This is after he was raped as a child.
And my family thought that it was just such
You were so crazy.
Huge problem. Like they were like, what are we going to do about this? You know, our son is sitting with his legs crossed. Our son wants to carry a purse. Like, what are we going to do about this problem? And like, it was literally like that. Like, they thought of it as me, like, doing drugs. They were like, what are we going to do? Our son's carrying a purse.
And see, that's like, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but that's what I hate about our like current society, that we've come to the fact, not me, because I'm not like that, but like most people have come to the fact that being transgender or non-straight is like a fucking disease.
Exactly.
It's absolutely ridiculous, because my girlfriend is trans. I love her very much. I think she's a super sweet soul. I think she's a super sweet person. Her parents, though, especially her dad, I told her, if I ever see your dad on site, if I ever see your dad in the street, it's on site.
So I love that this guy in the audience is bringing up me being raped and stuff like that, and saying that that's what made me trans, or man, like.
Alistair, you need to shut the fuck up. Like, right now.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah, like I just.
The fuck is wrong with you, Alistair? Like, Jesus
I just recorded his comment, but yeah, I think that you are just a miserable person, and I think the world would be better.
I think that's John. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, he's just a MAGA troll, so.
Oh God, you're Trumpy too? How's it feel? Of what he made? How's it feel about the joke that he made about the Pearl Harbor, the Japanese Prime Minister?
Well, how does he feel that he gets triggered every time he gets called a pedophile? Like on his 60-minute interview, when he was blatantly called a pedophile, and he got so upset. Donald Trump is one of the biggest snowflakes. And
he really is.
Yeah.
Tell him anything, he's like, I didn't do that, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it's like I say that I think conservatives are the real snowflakes because they're white, cold, they're cold, and if you get enough of them together, they shut down the public schools.
Literally.
Yeah, well, that's what we're doing too. We're just making notes up here. So while you're continuing to make notes down there, we're making notes up here. That's all. So you can continue to talk about people being raped if that's what you want. I mean, that's a typical.
That's fucking awesome, because not to like bring my girlfriend into the conversation again, but my girlfriend has gone through something that's similar. So if you think that's how you feel, I would personally cut your dick off and shove it down your own throat.
So the thing about that right there, about people that have been through that, like it takes a lot for people to even talk about it, you know, and I think that it should be conversated enough, but I don't think it should be the actual rape. I think that people should talk about like ways to stop. Well, that and ways to stop it. And I think the number one thing is that people like this dude in the audience probably has kids or will have a kid or maybe never, but will have a kid and they'll raise their kid to be just like them. And these people will probably be the ones that will be the aggressor and the sexual assaulters.
Exactly.
And we've got to stop that behavior right here. If we want to do better for our kids, then we've got to stop this shit that's happening right now.
Absolutely.
And and that has to, on us as parents, as adults, we have to start showing these kids better and doing better. I love that Jay-Z, the rapper, is now speaking out on his music, and he says that he does not support the message of money over hoes and calling women hoes and bitches. Like, he doesn't. And he says that love is better than money. So I love that now he's switching his message up for his, for the up and coming people. Like, hey, look, I was in that, but that's not what life's about.
It's not the right thing, basically.
Yeah, it's not the right thing. So that's really cool. I'm glad that he's trying to make it better for the future, a little bit. He might not be able to change it, but at least he can at least. He's doing his part, and I really appreciate that. I mean, we got to start teaching these, like, it's not just teaching your daughters no, it's about teaching your little boys not, like, how to handle the word.
Aggressive.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah, and how to handle no. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, because if you look during spring break, like Cancun and all those summer places, like, college people go there, and the rate goes up. Like, they go there just to do that shit. And, I mean, that's disturbing on its own. Like, why we're not talking about how rape is just so normalized now. It's not even funny. Like, so weird. I mean, I swear I hear about a case of somebody being raped, like, every other fucking day. I mean, I just read about a case of a young boy who was in a salon. They got raped in Morocco in the salon while he was fixing to get a haircut. Like, what?
Oh my
is
God.
going on?
Okay.
That's right.
Oh my God. That hurts my heart.
It's so insane. Like, it's just gotten so normalized, and I don't know. But yeah, I think
no one wants to look at your VCR, Alistair.
My mother also went like that, and I just don't find it funny when people like to joke about that type of shit. I really don't. I don't find it funny whatsoever.
It's not funny, and I think people do find it funny. They're just trying to get a reaction because they're so bored in their miserable life. Like, this dude probably literally has no life. Like, he probably woke up, took a shit, got on his phone, and started doing this. He probably hasn't even had breakfast.
Probably doesn't have a wife or a girlfriend. Not the guy that too.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I hope not.
I hope not. I feel bad for the poor woman.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ. An insufferable man-child like you? Hell no.
It's like, I see this a lot online, like, people telling, giving their real emotions, or like when people talk about somebody dying or something, you always see laugh reactions and people saying the most outlandish shit in the comments. And it's like, okay, I get it. The internet is open, freedom of speech. We can say whatever the fuck we want. I get it. But does it ever dawn on people that maybe some of the family members might be reading these comments, or I don't know, maybe just keep your shit to yourself. I mean, they teach us this.
Don't say no. It's like
Keep yourself.
kindergarten.
Basic respect. Yeah, you are grown as adults doing this. Like, you grown as
It's like you don't like
Yes, the internet is infinite. There are many places.
there's no point in arguing with someone.
Exactly.
There are many places to go. You can go on fucking YouTube, you can go on Pornhub for all I care. Like, there are so many other places to go.
Well, they have rooms for this type of behavior. I don't know why he just doesn't go there. Like, even on TikTok, they have debates and lives for people who want to come in there and talk about specific types of things. Like, why would you go into a room where somebody is blatantly talking about their emotions, their feelings, and be like, well, is that why you got raped? Is that why you're trans? Because you're raped? who tap dances on somebody's emotions like that? Like, I bet you're the same type of guy.
You're a good argument for why we need to legalize prostitution, because I think you really just need to get laid specifically. It will definitely change your life.
Yeah, you definitely need to get some sort of pussy. I'm sorry that you haven't experienced that. You know, maybe if you actually treat women as fucking human beings and not a piece of meat as you see it.
He's probably never seen a woman naked besides his mom or his dog.
You would get somewhere. Yeah, you probably never seen a woman other than the internet.
Somebody needs to join. Let's see what kind of loveliness. Hey, Keeger.
Hey, what's up? So I just came in. I don't really think I know most of you guys, but
Hi.
So what's the argument for illegal prostitution or legal prostitution?
Yeah, Alistair needs some.
Oh, Alistair is the
He's the perfect example why women should choose the bear. And
I always choose the bear.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The stories I've heard on TikTok of women saying like all this horrible shit about men, being like, there's this thing that's going around on TikTok of men taking girls on dates, or women on dates, sorry, and then they go like on a hike or something, and then they leave them in the forest.
Well, you know, with the hypothetical, the bear or the random man, is that, do they live in the forest forever? Like, you know, or is it like they're there for 48 hours, right? Because I feel like if you're stuck in this forest for the foreseeable future, let's say, you know, the next 60 days, I feel like that kind of maybe changes the predicament. I mean,
Not really.
Well, a bear will hunt you. A bear will kill you. Like, at the end of the day, a bear will kill you.
But here's the thing about a bear, though. Its habits are predictable.
Yeah, that's the one.
You think that you can, I'm so sorry, you think that if you were stuck in the woods for 60 days, you could predict a bear's movement? And
you can't no, I'm not saying I could predict it. I'm saying.
And I think,
Okay, this is double standard trans, LGBTQ, homicidal assault, and harassment. This is Alistair. So I was just verbally assaulted on this app. I reported 3 people. Immediately repeating back what I was told by a gentleman who claims that he was sexually assaulted as a child, and then he was talking about how he was just discovering that he was gay, but he forgot to mention, you know, the cause that caused the effect. So, and then I was, you know, just mercilessly verbally assaulted, enough to where I could actually call the police based on what these people said. So YouTube has a harassment and abuse policy that you cannot target specific groups, but I would just say that if you try to have a polite conversation about therapy and poetry, you are verbally assaulted by mentally ill people. And so we have a problem with YouTube where having very emotional, homicidal conversations with LGBTQ trans is considered abusive just to have the convo, but yet no accountability or responsibility on the verbal threats of assault and psychotic homicidal ideation from the men who claim that they are this special designation. So that's what this room is about. And I hope people come in and want to talk about it, about this double standard in verbal assault, because You'll note I never made one assaulting, harassing, or abusive statement to anyone. But just my mere presence is what was harassing. I was assaulted verbally. And this video proves it, that there is a double standard when it comes to policy and reporting and targeting. So how does YouTube mitigate this verbal diarrhea that comes out of the mouths of these homicidal people? Explain that to me, YouTube. Because you are the sole arbiters and protectors of extremely emotional feelings and psychotic harassment abuse. That's what YouTube does. They don't want to have conversations about cause and effect. It's just natural, right? But you actually heard Barbie there discuss the cause and effect of her life and how it's affecting her now. And she just spent 20 minutes crying and then 20 minutes verbally attacking me. That's life, ladies and gentlemen. In an LGBTQ trans world, don't you dare talk about it. Let's not talk about it. Okay, that's going to be the conclusion of this room. Thanks, everybody.
And doing the things that God had commanded according to Exodus 20, then no, that's not.
I don't know who said that. I don't know who started that, but every person that didn't even to college, that's what the first girl says.
Yeah, because Fox News is really good. Yeah, we never said we're a pacifist religion. Islam never presented itself as a religion. It is peace for the believer. It is a horror for the disbeliever. That's what it is. We are not a religion of peace, but we are not a religion of war. Islam is not a religion of peace. It's not a religion of war. It is a religion that deals with all the inputs and outputs. And that's what it is. It is dynamic. It is reactive. We have no interest to come and contest with any of the Western Christians or Christianity as a whole in anything except which God has revealed to us and God has contested. This is from our perspective relative to Islam. The Quran is what clearly states the Jews killed him not, nor was he crucified. It appeared to them so. Or it was conflated to them so. It doesn't say that God is the reason this happened or God played some ruse.
It's demonic.
No, that is not.
Yeah, there's no way around it.
Look up. There are several exegeses of the interpretation of this, and one of them is that the Jews conspired and made it seem that he was crucified or killed, or they attempted to nail him.
And there's a historical consensus on this.
There is a historical based on what we know, which is not contemporary.
Soft and pale, coming in your chest. Let the shoulders fall, nothing to impress. Eyes on point, steady as a stone. Thoughts drift past, you let them go. Bend like water, follow gravity down. Slowly breathing, roots you to the ground. Focus like a flame, still it all the sound. Send your breath in, feel it loosen, slide. Neck like a reed, swaying in the wind. Mind like a lake, quiet from within. Bend like water, follow gravity down. Slow deep breathing, roots you to the ground. Focus like a flame, still in all the sound. Bend like water, you will not break now. One thought in, one thought out. Nothing extra, nothing loud. Just this moment, just this round of easy breathing, easy now. Bend like water, follow gravity down. Slowly breathing, roots you to the ground. Focus like a flame, still in all the sound. Bend like water, you are steady now. Soft inhale, count it in chest. Let the shoulders fall, nothing to impress. Eyes on a point, steady as a stone.
Shala, this is my legal.
You let them go. Bend like water, follow gravity.
Shala, this is not legal to the believers of Mohammed.
Slow deep breathing, roots you to the ground. Focus like a flame, still in all this sound. Bend like water, you will not break down. Notice every end where the tension hides. Send your breath in, feel it loosen, slide. Neck like a reed, swaying in the wind. Mind like a lake, quiet from within. Mind like water, follow gravity down. unthought of, nothing extra, nothing loud, just this moment, just this round of easy breathing, easy now. And like water, follow gravity goes. Slow, deep breathing roots you to the ground. Focus like a flame, still in all this sun. Then like water, you are steady now. Voilà. Bien, que soit des raids, c'est les gens qui font des Inhale slowly, count it out, 1, 2, 3. Feel your ribs making room for you to beat. Knees sink heavy in the ground that doesn't move. Mind keeps talking, you just watch it pass on through. And like water, flow around, you can hold, follow your breathing. Let it gather. Inhale slowly, count it out, 1, 2, 3. Feel your beat. Knees sink heavy into ground that doesn't move. Mind keeps talking, you just watch it pass on through. Bend like water, flow around where you can't hold. Follow your breathing, let it gather, let it go. Every small distraction, just a wave that rolls on through. Bend like water. Quiet, heartbeat drum in my chest. All this noise fading down to breath. I feel the floor holding every step I take, and I close my eyes, watch my worries go vacant. I breathe in peace, I breathe out the warmth inside. I breathe in strength, tranquil every time. I breathe in joy, let it rise above. I breathe in light. So light is pouring, I bless the past for the way it keeps unfolding. I breathe in peace, I breathe out the war inside, I breathe in strength, tremble every time, I breathe in joy, let it rise above, I breathe in light, and I breathe out love. Every hurt has its every name I call myself, I forget. Every tear that never fell, now it's shining on my skin. I am open, let the healing in. I breathe in peace, I breathe out the war inside, I breathe in strength, every tremble, every tide, I breathe in strength, let it rise above, I breathe in light, I breathe out. One more breath, resting in the quiet now. Stronger, softer, learning how to bow to the peace, to the strength, to the joy I'm dreaming of, to this endless, wordless ocean made of love. Quiet room, heartbeat drumming my chest. All this noise, fading down to breath. I feel the floor, holding every step I've taken. I close my eyes, watch my worries go vacant. I breathe in peace, I breathe out the war inside. I breathe in strength, every tremble, every time. I breathe in joy, let it rise above. I breathe in light, and I breathe out. Soft blue sky, even with my eyes closed. Every scar, like a map of gold. I bless the cracks where the gentle light is pouring. I bless the past for the way it keeps unfolding. I breathe in peace, I breathe out the war inside. I breathe in strength, every tremble, every time. sinless, wordless ocean made of love. Breathe in all the scattered pieces. Breathe out every borrowed fear. Hands open to the quiet in your chest. Let the shaken part settle here. Peace in my body, strength in my bones, joy in the spaces I once called home, love in the center. Breathe in all the scattered pieces. Breathe out every borrowed fear. Hands open to the quiet in your chest. Let the shaken part settle here. Peace in my body, strength in my bones, joy in the spaces I once called unknown. Love in the center, soft but so strong. I am. Mine is the head of the man, and my insight is keen as the hawks. By my head I invoke thee. Hey, I am the only begotten child of my father and mother. My father is dead. My mother bore me with labor and pain and fear. By my body I invoke thee. About me shine the diamonds of radiance, white and pure. By the brightness I invoke thee. Mine is the red triangle reverse, the sign given of none save it be of thee. O Lord, by the Lamb I invoke thee. 3 Mine is the garment of white, sewn with gold, the flashing obey that I wear. By my robe I go thee. Mine is the sign of the Moses and Typhon. By the sign I invoke thee. For it's a turban of white and gold, and mine the blue figure of the intimate air. By my crown I invoke thee. My fingers travel on the beads of pearl, so run I after thee in thy car of glory. By my fingers I invoke thee. Five, I bear the wand of double power in the voice of the master Abraham. By the word I invoke thee. Mine are the dark blue waves of music in the song that I made of old to invoke thee. Strike, strike, master chord, draw the flaming sword, crown, child and conquering Lord, Horus, avenger. By the song I invoke thee. 6. In my hand is thy sword of revenge, let it strike at thy bidding. By the sword I invoke thee. The voice of the fight, the voice of the fight, the voice of the 6. 11 other voices, Abraham. Strike the master chord. Draw the flaming sword. Crowned child and conquering Lord, Horus, avenger. Thou the head of the whole. The iron foe, thou only begotten child of Osiris thy father, and Isis thy mother, he that was slain. She that bore thee in her womb, flying from the terror of the water. Thee I invoke. Whose apron is of flashing white, whiter than the forehead of the morning. $50 billion wasted a scam like you. Those garment is of the golden glory, with the azure bars of stars. You want to buy it? You see that Chinese guy or something? You see that Chinese guy from Farmhouse?
When you gonna
strike the master chord, draw the flaming sword, crown child and conquering lord, avenger, O thou of the head of the hawk, thee I invoke.
At every thee I invoke, throughout the whole of the ritual, give the sign of Apophis.
Thou only begotten child of Osiris thy father, and Isis thy mother, he that was slain, she that bore thee in her womb, flying from the temple.
arrest politicians? Safe food by tracking ice? When are you going to arrest politicians for breaking the law? Privilege recognized? When you got all those politicians are breaking the law. And you're going to arrest politicians for breaking the law. It's no good. I called his office once. I prayed for you yesterday. Be good. You're saved. You're no good. You're no good.
Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a fraud. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a scam. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is the tax. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a liar. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a criminal. Borrows $1.3 billion to give to crying on. Profits the CTU is a mafia propaganda. Organization affordability is a scam. Brandon Johnson is the tax. Reparations for black slaves is a scam. It's the black tax socialists are taxologists. All taxation is theft. Affordability is a scam. Abortion Greyhound buses are murder for profits. Open the books, transparency now. Public spending tracker now. Brandon Johnson is the tax. Brandon Johnson is the tax. Brandon Johnson is the scam. You spent our paychecks with a smiling mask. Call it care, call it change. While you pass that, your friends at the table eating out the back. We're stuck in the checkout line, doing the math. You bought a mountain full of parking lot dreams, sign your name on it down and like it's free, free, free. We wake up to letters with the red ink streak. Every promise on paper feels cheap to me. Brandon Johnson is a tax. We're the ones who pay it back. All the bills and all the spins. Cash goes out but not in. Open up the books right now. Show the numbers and transparency.
Muhtemelen arkadaşlar ezber atılması lazım. Bir de bunu
You call it for the people. The doors stay closed. Same names on the
The shadows pop up.
You preach about affordable, then raise the toll. Whole city in a chokehold, just to feed the road. We're tired of slogans on a pretty blue sign, while the public spending tracker in real time. Not another photo op on our dime. We're done with the fiction, this is our line. Brandon Johnson is a tax. We're the ones who pay it back. All the bills and all the spins. Cash goes up with locked in. Open up the books right now. Show the numbers in the pipeline. Transparency on every track. Brandon Johnson is a tax. We want receipts. Every cent, every check, every week. Turn the lights to the ceiling, to the cracks, to the shadows. Pull back, pull back. Brandon Johnson is the tag. We're the ones who pay it back. All the bills and all the spins. Cash goes out with locked in. Open up the books right now. Show the numbers and the pipeline. Push the truth on the giant. Screams it all down to the crash. Brandon Johnson is the tag. Brandon Johnson is the tag.
Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a fraud. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a scam. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a tax. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a liar. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a criminal. Morals 1 million against a criminal. CTU is a mafia propaganda organization. Criminality is a scam. Brandon Johnson is the terror. Transparency now. Explanation now. Brandon Johnson is a snake. Brandon Johnson is a scam. Reparations for black slaves is a scam. It's a black tax socialist. Untaxologist, no taxation. And affordability is a scam. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a fraud. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a scam. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a tax. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a liar. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a criminal. Yeah, one rebranded as a criminal. CTU is a mafia propaganda organization. Criminality is a scam. Brandon Johnson is the town. Transparency now. Explanation now. Brandon Johnson is a scam. Brandon Johnson is a scam. Reparation for black lives is a scam. It's a black tax socialist. Untaxologist, no taxation. No affordability is a scam. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a fraud. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a scam. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a scam. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a liar. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a criminal. Morals 1 million against a criminal. The CTU is a mafia propaganda organization. Affordability is a scam. Brandon Johnson is a coward. Transparency now. Public expenditure now. Brandon Johnson is a tax. Brandon Johnson is a scam. Transparency now. Public expenditure now. Brandon Johnson is a tax. Brandon Johnson is a scam. Reparations for black slaves is a scam. It's a black tax. Socialists are taxologists. All taxation is theft. Affordability is a scam. Transparency now. Public expenditure now. Brandon Johnson is a tax. Brandon Johnson is a scam. Transparency now. Public expenditure now. Brandon Johnson is a tax. Brandon Johnson is a scam. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a fraud.
Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a scam. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is the tax. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a liar. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a criminal. Borrows $1.3 billion to give to crony nonprofits. The CTU is a mafia propaganda organization. Affordability is a scam. Brandon Johnson is the Never the books transparency. Robert spinning trigger now. Brandon Johnson is the tax. Brandon Johnson is the scam. Reparations for black slaves is a scam. It's a black tax. Socialists are taxologists. All taxation is theft. Affordability is a scam. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a fraud. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a scam. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is the tax. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a liar. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a criminal. Borrows $1.3 billion to give to crony non-profits. The CTU is a mafia propaganda organization. Affordability is a scam. Brandon Johnson is the tax. Open the books, transparency now. Public spending tracker now. Brandon Johnson is the tax. Brandon Johnson is the scam. Reparations for black slaves is a scam. It's a black tax, socialism, taxologists, all taxation is theft. Affordability is a scam. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a fraud. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a scam. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is the tax. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a liar. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a criminal. Borrows $1.3 billion to give to crony nonprofits. The CTU is a mafia propaganda organization. Affordability is a Reparations for black slaves is a scam. It's a black tax socialist tax unjust. All taxation is the again, but it is a scam. No. Public spending tracker. No. Brandon Johnson is the tax. Brandon Johnson is the scam. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a fraud and a criminal who lies. Republicans and socialism for black slaves. Free buses for abortions from out of state. Allows teens to take over streets and cause chaos. Borrows $1.3 billion to give out to his crony nonprofits. The FBI needs to arrest Mayor Brandon Johnson and the CTU Mafia propaganda. Affordability is a scam. Brandon Johnson is the tax. Brandon is a scam. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a fraud and a criminal who lies. Report films and socialism for black slaves. Free buses for abortion from out of state. Allow teens to take on the streets and cause chaos. Borrows $1.3 billion to get out to his crowded nonprofits. The FBI needs to arrest Mayor Brandon Johnson and his CTU Mafia propaganda. Affordability is a scam. Brandon Johnson is the tax. Brandon is a scam. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a fraud and a criminal who lies. Republicans and socialism for black slaves. Free buses for abortions from out of state. Allows teens to take over streets and cause chaos. Borrows $1.3 billion to give out to his crowded nonprofits. The FBI needs to arrest Mayor Brandon Johnson and his CTU Mafia propaganda. Affordability is a scam. Brandon Johnson is the tax. Brandon is the scam. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a fraud and a criminal who lies. Republicans and socialism for black slaves. Free buses for abortions from out of state. Allows teens Any CTU mafia propaganda. Affordability is a scam. Brandon Johnson is the tax. Brandon is the scam. Oh, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a fraud and a criminal who lies. Reversions and socialism for black slaves. Free buses for abortions from out of state. Allows teens to take on the streets and cause chaos. Borrows $1.3 billion to give out to his crony nonprofits. The FBI needs to arrest Mayor Brandon Johnson and his CTU mafia propaganda. Affordability is a scam. Brandon Johnson is the tax. Brandon is the scam. Oh, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a fraud criminal who lies. Reversing socialism for black slaves. Free buses for abortions from out of state. Allows teens to take on the streets and cause chaos. $1.3 billion to give out to his crony nonprofits. The FBI needs to Mayor Brandon Johnson and his CTU mafia propaganda. Affordability is a scam. Brandon Johnson is the tax. Brandon is the scam. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a fraud and a criminal who lies. Christians and socialism for black slaves. Free buses for abortions from out of state. Teens to take over streets and cause chaos. Borrows $1.3 billion to give out to his crony nonprofits. The FBI needs to arrest Mayor Brandon Johnson and his CTU mafia propaganda. Affordability is a scam. Brandon Johnson socialism for black slaves. Free buses for abortions from out of state. Jesus, take over the streets and cause chaos. Cause 1 3 billion to give up to the non-profits. FBI needs to arrest. Mayor Brandon Johnson, CTU mafia propaganda. Affordability's a scam. Brandon Johnson is the scam. Brandon is the Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a fraud and a criminal who lies. Christians and socialism for black slaves. Free buses for revolutions from out of state. People take on the streets and cause chaos. Affordability's a scam. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson is a fraud and a criminal who lies. Socialism for black slaves. Free buses for abortions for the streets.
When people align themselves to be something else, it's because you know they're not happy in the inside and they're trying to fill their cup.
Hello, moderators. I would like to request 60 seconds to read a poem. Can I read a poem for 60 seconds about love?
Okay, I'm counting 60.
Liberation. This card indicates a liberation, true and real. It is something different from what we normally mean by liberation. It is not the negation of desire, nor of its consequences. Hello? 41. Sufferings. Step by step, each joy condenses, hardens, becomes literally of stone. Also, these joyous impulses lessen. It is a natural law. And this is living.
That's the part of this spectrum that we don't really explore.
Mr. Crowley.
There's a few different types of liberation.
Mr. Crowley. Boom, 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 boom.
brother, sir, if you want to share your poem with this chat, if you want to share your poem with the
I think this is Marcus Aurelius' Stoic Meditation.
Saying just us, the people who want to see you win and can show you the results.
Can you read the verse again, Andy? I'm sorry. Read the verse again. Then Moses and Aaron are given the Quran.
Which one you want? 3:3?
21:48.
It states that Allah granted Moses and Aaron the criterion, also known as the Furqan, a light and a reminder.
Is it my baby, Mariam? Oh, the Lambara. Hey, dang, sure, there. My baby's home. Hey, baby. My baby's back. My baby's back. And she's ready to cause some trouble with my heart again. My baby's back. And she's gonna cause some trouble to my heart again. My baby's back.
Them have their back and forth, and we can move on to a different person who has a different who has a different point or a different point of view, right? Like, why can't that be a thing? Why do we have to have popcorn where everybody just talks about what the fuck they want to talk about? Just random shit. It's boxing match last night. Oh yeah, what are we talking about? All right, Lance, sorry.
All right, thank you. Let's go next to the queue. It's on Cracker. Is Cracker there? He didn't see that.
Hello?
Oh, okay, I didn't see you.
Hello?
Sorry. No, I didn't see you.
Okay. So I'm gonna read a parable, okay? And Jacoby is always allowed to read. I think I should do it. Okay? And as far as the shit that happened earlier, you guys go below.
Welcome back, Mariam, to your mystical journey in Irvine, California, to your racing stallions in Mecca. Your mystical Friday afternoon has begun. The lumber of Cleveland, Jordan.
Okay, that is some ancient mystical Persian music. I have my own santur. We will go play that in a moment. But first, we are going to listen to the invocation to Thoth. And then I will bring you up, Miriam. But first, the invocation.
thou, majesty of the Godhead, wisdom, crown, strong king, Lord of the gates of the universe, thee I invoke. O thou of the ibis head, thee I invoke. Thou who wieldest the wand of double power, thee I invoke. Thou who bearest in thy left hand the rose and cross of life and light, thee I invoke. Thou whose head is as an emerald, and thy limbs as the night sky blue, thee I invoke. Thou whose skin is of flaming orange as though it burned in a furnace, thee I invoke. Behold, I am yesterday, today, and the brother of tomorrow. On and born again and again. Mine is the unseen force whereof the gods are sprung, which is as life unto the dwellers in the watchtowers of the universe. I am the charioteer of the east, lord of the past and of the future. I see by mine own inward light, Lord of resurrection, who cometh forth from the dust, and my birth is from the house of death. O ye two divine forms upon your pinnacles, who keep watch over the universe, ye who accompany the bier to the house of rest, who pilot the ship of Rome, ever advancing onwards to the heights of heaven, Lord of the shrine which stands on the center of the earth. Behold, he is in me, and I in him. Mine is the radiance, wherein the dark clouds over the world. I travel on high. I tread upon the firmament of you. I raise up a flashing flame with the lightning of mine eye, ever rushing on in the splendor of the daily glorified God, giving my life to the dwellers of earth. If I say, come up upon the mountain, the celestial waters shall flow at my word. For I am Ra incarnate, Ephra, created in the flesh. I am the eidolon of my father Tanu, Lord of the city of the sun. The God who commands is in my mouth. The God of wisdom is in my heart. My tongue is the sanctuary of truth, and a God sitteth upon my lips. My word is accomplished every day, and the desire of my heart realizes itself as that of the tower when he created his works. I am eternal, therefore all things are as my designs, therefore do all things obey my word. Therefore do thou come forth unto me from thine abode in silence, unutterable wisdom, or light, or power. So, Hermes, Mercury, Odin, by whatever name I call thee, thou art still nameless to eternity. Come thou forth, I say, and aid and guard me in this work of ours. Thou, star of the east, that didst conduct the Magi, thou art the same all present in heaven and in hell. Thou that vibratest between the light
Did you know you can work full-time while protecting your SSDI benefits? It's true. Contact Allsup Employment Services, an authorized Social Security Ticket to Work provider. We can help you make the most of the Ticket to Work program.
Random shit. The invocation of Horus. Strike the master chord. Draw the flaming sword. Crowned child and conquering lord, Horus, avenger. O thou of the head of the hawk, thee I invoke. Thou only begotten child of Osiris thy father, and Isis thy mother, he that was slain, she that bore thee in her womb, flying from the terror of the water, thee I invoke. O thou whose apron is of flashing white, whiter than the forehead of the morning, thee I invoke. O thou who hast formulated thy father, and made fertile thy mother, thee I invoke. O thou whose garment is of golden glory, with the azure bars of sky, thee I invoke. Thou who didst avenge the horror of death, thou the slayer of Typhon, thou who didst lift thine arms, and the dragons of death were as dust, thou who didst raise thine head, and the crocodile of Nile was abased before thee, thee I invoke. O thou whose nemesis hideth the universe with night, the impermeable blue, thee I invoke. Thou who travellest in the boat of Ra, abiding at the helm of the Aztec boat, and of the Sextet boat, thee I invoke. Thou who bearest the wand of double power, thee I invoke. Is shed the darkness of blue light, the unfathomable glory, the untraveled, the unthinkable immensity of space. Thou who concentrest all the 30 ethers in one darkening sphere of fire, thee I invoke. O thou who bearest the rose and cross of life and light, thee I invoke. The voice of the 5, the voice of the 6, 11 other voices. Abracadabra. Strike the master chord. Draw the flaming sword. Crowned child and conquering lord, Horus, avenger.
Completely got GPT. It just keeps failing me time after time, and I can't.
Child and conquering lord, Horus, avenger. By thy name of Ra, I invoke thee, Orc of the sun, the glorious one. By thy name, Harmachis, youth of the brilliant morning, I invoke thee. By thy name, Mao, I invoke thee, lion of the midday sun. By thy name, Tum, orc of the even, crimson splendor of the sunset, I invoke thee. By thy name, Kefra, I invoke thee, O beetle of the hidden mastery of midnight. By thy name, Ur-Par-Krat, Lord of silence, beautiful child that standest on the dragons of the deep, I invoke thee. By thy name of Apollo, thee, O man of strength and splendor, O poet, O father. By thy name of Phoebus, that drivest thy chariot through the heaven of Zeus, I invoke thee. By thy name of Odin, I invoke thee, O warrior of the north, O renown of the sagas. By thy name of Yahshua, O child of the flaming star, I invoke thee. By thine own, thy secret glory, thee I invoke. The names are 5, the names are 6, 11 are the names. Abrahadabra. Behold, I stand in the midst. Mine is the symbol of Osiris. To thee are mine eyes ever turned. Unto the splendor of Gabura, the magnificence of Hesed, the mystery of Da'ath, thither I lift up mine eyes. This have I sought, and I have sought the unity. Hear thou me. Mine is the head of the man, and my insight is keen as the hawk's. By my head I invoke thee. I am the only begotten child of my father and mother. By my body I invoke thee. About me shine the diamonds of radiance, white and pure. By their brightness I invoke thee. Mine is the red triangle reversed, the sign given of none, save it be of thee, O Lord. By the Laman I invoke thee. Mine is the garment of white, sewn with gold, the flashing abai that I wear. By my robe I invoke thee. Mine is the sign of Apophis and Typhon. By the sign I invoke thee. Mine also is the turban of white and gold, and mine the blue vigor of the intimate air. By my crown I invoke thee. My fingers travel on the beads of pearl. So run I after thee in thy car of glory. By my fingers I invoke thee. I bear the word of double power in the voice of the Master. Abrahadabra. By the word I invoke thee. Mine are the dark blue waves of music in the song that I made of old to invoke thee. Strike, strike the master chord. Draw, draw the flaming sword. Crowned child and conquering lord. Horus, avenger. By the song I invoke thee. In my hand is thy sword of revenge. Let it strike at thy bidding. By the sword I invoke thee. The voice of the 5, the voice of the 6, 11 are the voices. Abrahadabra. Therefore I say unto thee, come thou forth and dwell in me, so that every spirit, whether of the firmament or of the ether, of the earth or under the earth, on dry land or in the water, of whirling air or of rushing fire, and every spell and scourge of God, the vast one, may be thou. Abrahadabra. Take a seated position. Command yourself to relax. Start rhythmic breathing. Let us ask for divine guidance at the beginning of each session. O Lord of the universe, the vast and the mighty one, ruler of the light and the darkness, we adore thee and we invoke thee. Look thou with favour upon me, who now standeth before thee, and grant thine aid unto the highest aspirations of my soul, that I may be enabled to accomplish the great work, to the glory of thine ineffable name. Amen. You have achieved perfect relaxation. Your mind is at peace. You are now able to concentrate your thoughts, your feelings, your awareness. Imagine now there towers above you another being who represents your higher self, your holy guardian angel. See this majestic towering figure standing above you, watching over you with his light and love, protecting you, guiding you. With each breath you take, you aspire and yearn to be one with your angel. With the exhalation, this great being descends into you. You and your guardian angel are becoming one. Inhale, yearn towards your divine angel. Exhale, he descends and occupies your being. Imagine this divine being with wings that are outstretched, vibrating rapidly with spiritual power. He stands above you, benign, gracious, beatific. Inhale, long for, yearn for, and aspire towards this great being who is yourself made perfect. Exhale. Imagine this divine spiritual figure descending, occupying your body, your mind, your soul. Okay.